Live from Aspen, Colorado, this is Aspen Ideas Digital. Hi everybody and welcome to Aspen Ideas Digital. My name is John Melgard. I'm a producer with the Aspen Ideas Festival, and I am joined by Nicholas and Jay. They are both students from New Orleans that are part of a program called the Aspen Challenge. It's one of my favorite programs of the Aspen Institute, and we just want to give them an opportunity to tell us a little bit about their experience. But for a little level setting, can you guys tell us in your own words what the Aspen Challenge is?
So the Aspen Challenge, Aspen came down to New Orleans and they brought with them a bunch of challenges and stuff that really impacted our city, our local community. And they asked us to develop solutions to solve these problems. Some of those, for example, was to combat the climate crisis. That's what our team did. Another was to highlight the beauty in the darkest places of our cities. I think that was the wording. That's what y'all's team did.
Yeah, like kind of the narrative of like violence presented in the city. And like another one was the dietary problems in New Orleans. But like they were just saying, the Aspen Challenge was basically like an innovation type thing, like seeing what the students at these high schools could come up with in order to counter the problems presented in their cities. Like for instance, my team did like community engagement events, like pop-up shops, movie nights, benefit dinners, mural events, stuff like that, just to get the community to come out and just generate positive energy.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of Instagram buzz about them. Yeah.
So I want to dive a little bit deeper into that. In March, I had the pleasure of coming down and joining you guys for that.
Yeah.
But can you tell us a little bit about like what the kickoff was like, and some of your speakers, and maybe a little bit deeper into the challenges that your teams chose?
So yeah, I guess the kickoff was really at the what did they call it? It was at the Audubon Tea Room.
Yep.
And they sat us all down, they fed us, and then they started talking about what the Aspen Institute was. For a lot of us, it was the first time really hearing about it. Some of us knew about it because our mayor, Latoya Cantrell, she was involved with Aspen for a while. But at that point, like when they started talking about what it was, I think we all really started to realize, oh, we're here to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys get, 8 weeks to essentially choose a challenge, execute, and then share what you did in 8 weeks.
Yeah, there was no time.
The pressure was on for sure. Because I walked in there, I was like, oh. Because, I had taken a seminar class beforehand. And, like, in my seminar class, we had, like, the same kind of situation. We was presented with a problem. We had to type a little essay or, like, present our own solution to how the problem should be tackled. And so I was like, oh, okay, so something similar to that, because that's what my teacher was telling me. We walk in there, like, oh, you have to execute this, too. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I didn't know we had to execute this thing too. So that was like, I was like, oh, okay, we gotta get down into the work for real.
Yeah. I'm really glad that we had this chance, because the speakers came up and they presented their challenges. Like Dr. Beverly Wright of the Deep South Center for Environmental Justice, she presented our challenge on the climate crisis. Mm-hmm. And like it really gave us a lot of agency and a lot of force in ourselves to be able to tackle some of these issues that are affecting us very dearly. Doing all that work, that was a very good experience.
And so you two represent two different schools, correct?
Yeah.
Two different teams that were part of the challenge. There were probably, 200 or 300 students at this challenge?
Yeah, I think it was like comprised of like 9 schools, if I'm correct.
No, it was more than that. It was like 18.
Oh, 18 schools? I couldn't remember all of them, but yeah, it was like a bunch of different schools. They're from Ben Franklin. I'm from Frederick Douglass High School. So
how did you guys get here to Aspen?
We flew.
Okay, but
so I guess you're talking about the process of it. So every school chose a challenge. There was 5 challenges in total. I don't have the list on me right now, but we all had to do something, and each and every school executed their own solution to the challenges, and all of them were amazing. Like there's a bunch of teams that didn't come up with us that had some really great solutions. Like, remember Lycée Français solution? Norinola?
I don't remember how it went exactly, but I know they had the dietary challenge.
Yeah. But at the end of those 8 weeks, once our time frame was over and we had to have everything executed, we went to Studio B, which is an art studio in New Orleans, and we presented on our solutions. And the judges there chose 3 teams to represent New Orleans at this Aspen Ideas Festival, and You know,
Here we are.
we represent 2 of those teams.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to just give our audience members a break. We have questions coming in right now. There should be a Slido box right over here if you're watching on Splash, our digital platform. So send us some questions for Nicholas and Jay. But tell us a little bit about what you've done here in Aspen so far, and then what you have coming up.
Well, yesterday, on Monday, my team didn't get here till like roughly 5-ish. So when we got here, we were already pretty tired from like the flights because we had a layover in like Dallas. So when we got here to Aspen, we came to where we were going to be staying at the Gant, and we were just started unpacking, getting comfortable. Then we had this orientation process, how the layout of events will be happening throughout this week that we're here. And then, we ate food, got comfortable, and then on today we went on the air gondolas, and we rode up all the way to the top, and we did like a whole hiking thing, and I was not prepared. I never went hiking before. I've been to like nature trails in New Orleans and stuff like that, but the whole hiking thing is like new, but it was real nice. And when we got to the top, we had like our guy was telling us about all the different animals and telling us different stories about Aspen and the mountains about it, and it was like real cool.
Yeah. That's what all the teams did. I guess I'll talk specifically about what my team did.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So we did get here a little earlier than them, but we were so exhausted by the time we got here. But we still rehearsed because we're still really a part of the challenge. Like our solution, we built it to go on past the challenge. Our mentality was, if it's not built to last, we shouldn't build it at all. And so we were rehearsing last night. Everyone was so tired, but everyone was putting the work in.
And tell us what you're rehearsing for. I hear you have a big day coming up tomorrow.
So yes, we're actually going to be presenting on our solutions tomorrow. What is it, early afternoon?
Yeah, it's like 3:15 to 4, I believe it is.
Yeah, and so we're rehearsing, ready to bring our solution to the forefront of the conversation. Yeah.
Awesome, great.
I guess I haven't talked about my solution yet.
Yeah, do you want to share a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so Ben Franklin, our solution was called Crew to Cyprus. Our challenge was to mobilize and educate our peers on the climate crisis. That's something that's really, really important to New Orleans because it's affected by rising sea levels. We live in a bowl, essentially. A lot of the city is under sea level. And so rising global temperatures, that really is something that hits close to home. So we took on that challenge, and we've done a bunch of things with it. We went out to the Lafitte Greenway in New Orleans. We planted 100 cypress trees with a couple of different organizations, including the French Navy. We hosted an entire festival, Cypress Fest. We're doing that again in the fall-ish with the anniversary of Katrina. We have a website devoted to helping our peers get involved in the climate crisis movement. And
you guys have been busy.
We also put a curriculum into LSU's dual enrollment engineering classes.
Okay.
That's a STEM pathway in Louisiana that reaches 6,000 students across the state.
Wow.
And so we give them access to a curriculum, and we're getting it out to students all over Louisiana.
So there's a couple questions coming in here, and one I see here is, what do you want adults to know about the power of youth? You guys have clearly done a lot in 8 weeks. You guys are the future. What should adults and others know about what you guys are capable of?
Take this one.
Okay, well, I would say the most important thing to know is that the youth is gonna eventually be in the adults' footsteps. Like, we're gonna be where they are like right now. So it's best for us to get like knowledge about what we're gonna be stepping into now, and like get hands-on experience with it. Because yes, you can learn about it in these textbooks at school and stuff, but actually getting like into it and like working out the process as like a team is like very I don't know how to put it, like great for you to get the experience. I want to say, like, I can't find the proper word usage, but yeah, it's just good to get that experience because eventually you're gonna be in the adults' footsteps, and you have to be able to tackle those big problems on if you don't do it, you're gonna fail type scale.
Yeah. Can I add on to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people do not recognize how powerful the youth are. Everybody's concerned with, honoring the past, honoring their ancestors. What about honoring your descendants? Like, we will inherit the earth. The young people will eventually be the people that are having to take care of the earth. And, if you don't look to the youth, you don't look to the future, and you're only looking backwards. You need to look forward if you want to go forward.
Climate change is obviously a very important topic to young people for those reasons.
Yeah.
One of our tracks at the Ideas Festival this year is heat for that reason. A lot of discussions around that. Are there any sessions that you're looking forward to attending while you're here at the Ideas Festival?
Well, me personally, my whole thing is like, yes, I agree with my challenge, and like Operation Fanola, we do very important things in terms of like social stuff. But I personally like a very environmental type person, so I like to like be out in nature, and so I want to go to some of the like environmental and like climate change type sessions.
This is why we're friends.
There you go. There you go. How about you?
I haven't got the chance to look fully at the itinerary because I've been busy. After this, I got to go to something else as well. But I've heard some guest speakers here that I'm really interested in listening to. This is awesome. I'm really looking forward to catch as many sessions as I can.
What has been your favorite part of the challenge so far?
I guess the actual work, I didn't think that, I thought it was going to be way more difficult because, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to give you this seed money and y'all have to form this solution. I thought it was going to be way more difficult than like how it was when we actually got started. Because once we finally landed on how we wanted us to lay out what we were going to do, like our community engagement activities, when we finally laid that out, it was like just flowing. It was just flowing and keep going.
I also enjoyed the work. I really live for the grind. And, while the Aspen Challenge was in full swing in those 8 weeks between March and the showcase, we were working a lot. We put in so many hours, each of us individually, and it really does give you appreciation for that type of work. And it shows you that, if you want to choose the future, you have to actively work for it.
Yeah.
And it was a really eye-opening experience working with my team and then with all the other teams as well. That's what I enjoyed most about it.
So one thing that I love about the Aspen Challenge is, it's an opportunity. It's one of our programs that goes out and isn't Aspen centric.
Yeah.
Like it's across the nation. We've been in Miami, we've been in Louisville, we've been in all these amazing places that aren't in our typical Aspen Institute constituencies. What does it mean for a program like this to come to the city of New Orleans?
It means a lot, because New Orleans is a city that has a lot of problems. That much is very clear. We have a problem with crime. We have a problem with global warming, and it kind of gets forgotten about. And kids in the city can kind of feel a little bit hopeless that this is just the situation that they're trapped in. So for Aspen to come into New Orleans and give all these schools this opportunity, there's tons of kids that had this opportunity. That was really important in showing that we still have agency, that the city might still have a future, Yeah,
totally. Well, we're so thrilled to have you guys here. So grateful to have you as part of the Aspen Ideas Festival. And one last question. You guys said you took the gondola up to the top of the mountain. Have you seen any wildlife or anything? Anything truly Coloradan?
I have not. I want to see at least like a fox or something.
Oh my gosh. What is that?
Oh my God.
Is that what you were expecting?
No.
I was going to talk about how small the chipmunks were, but
that takes the cake. That's my animal encounter. That's my animal encounter while I'm here.
You never know what you'll find here in Aspen, but we are.
You need to go interview them.
Yeah, we'll have to bring up the bear for an interview afterwards. But thank you guys so much for joining us here at Aspen Ideas. We're so happy to have you as part of the challenge, and good luck tomorrow with your presentations.
Thank you all for having us.